Hello, it's me, Oscar from Marijuana Garden.
Sumerian text revealed 8 intelligent beings that came to Earth and ruled for 241,200 years. This remarkable writing was discovered on a 4,000-year-old clay tablet by German-American researcher Hermann Hilprecht around the turn of the 20th century. The most contentious ancient Sumerian document gives the names of 8 ancient monarchs who dropped from the sky and ruled for almost 200,000 years. According to the narrative, a group of 8 intelligent creatures controlled Mesopotamia for 241,200 years before the Great Flood. The Sumerians were a sophisticated civilization that existed roughly 7,000 years ago between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers in Mesopotamia, which eventually became Babylonia and is now in Iraq and Syria. The scroll that detailed the listing of Sumer rulers and their reign periods was the most remarkable relic unearthed from the ancient Sumerian site in Iraq. This remarkable writing was discovered on a 4,000-year-old clay tablet by German-American researcher Hermann Hilprecht around the turn of the 20th century. So, more than a dozen Sumerian King List copies have been discovered at Babylon, Susa, and Assyria, as well as the Royal Library of Nineveh from the 7th century BC. The Sumerian list actually includes the names of several generations of kings who governed ancient Mesopotamia along with the length and location of their reigns. The document also, interestingly, featured the events of the Great Flood, legends, Gilgamesh tales, and stories of antediluvian monarchs in addition to the list. Before the flood, the Sumerian list was as follows. So, the kingdom was in Eridu after it descended from heaven. Alulim became king of Eridu, and believe it or not, he reigned for 28,800 years. After that, for 36,000 years, Alaljar reigned. Altogether, these two monarchs ruled for 64,800 years. The kingdom was then relocated to Bad Tibira after Eridu collapsed. Enmenluana governed Bad Tibira for 43,200 years. For 28,800 years, Enmengalana reigned, and for 36,000 years, Dumuzid, the shepherd, reigned. So these 3 kings ruled for a total of 108,000 years. After Bad Tibira collapsed, the kingship was then transferred to Lareg. Ensipad Did Ana reigned Lareg for 28,800 years. There was just one monarch who ruled for 28,800 years. Once Lareg collapsed, the kingship was then transferred to Zimbir. So, Enmendarana became king of Zimbir and reigned for 21,000 years. There was just one monarch who ruled for 21,000 years. The kingship was then transferred to Shurupag when Zimbir collapsed. Ubaratutu became king of Shurupag and reigned for 18,600 years. There was just one monarch who ruled for 18,600 years. They governed for 241,200 years with 5 towns and 8 kings. Then the tide came rushing in. How did the 8 kings manage to dominate the world for 241,200 years? There was a lot of controversy about the early monarchs' extended reigns. Etana, Lugalbanda, and Gilgamesh were among the mythological and legendary individuals featured in the list, each reigning for an improbable amount of time. Some people thought that they were gods with a greater lifespan than humans. Simultaneously, several experts and authors denied this notion, claiming that the list could not be a hoax. They began to recognize some of the names on the list of rulers. Some researchers have discovered significant parallels between the Sumerian King List and the Book of Genesis. For example, the list covered the 8 monarchs that ruled for generations before the deluge, as well as the 8 generations that occurred between Adam and Noah before the Great Flood. Then, after the flood, the lifespan began to decline. Historians are still baffled by the Sumerian list enigma because it contains some strange information about historical occurrences. What if the list is true, and the celestial gods truly did live and govern for such a long time? What if they had the technology to extend their lives and become immortal? Daily Fact Find.